Hello, one and all. I am Dr. Mrs. Guzar PS, Assistant Professor in Commerce, working in Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's CD Jain College of Commerce, Shriram. Today, I am over here as a roll number 64 for the Faculty Induction Program, online 15th Faculty Induction Program with BAMU. So, I am presenting my assignment as a seminar on presentation on the topic of how to write a research paper. So, I welcome you all to the word of research. The first of all, what is research and what is research paper? Of course, we all are faculty members and we all have a good idea, very well idea about the research and research paper, of course. So, the first task is always choosing a suitable topic. So, finding an appropriate topic is a very important task. After that, we should avoid a topic without a point or purpose. Of course, objective must be very clear. Narrowing the topic to the manageable size. Always the topic should be manageable. That should be in our scope or it should be manageable. Narrow enough to allow in-depth analysis. By narrowing it, we can have in-depth study as well. Cut down the size of contents for a research paper. Also, we should be able to reach a conclusion and we should add something. Research is always searching something which is already being searched, but we are going to add up something in that from our own side. At the same time, selecting a research topic is the next task. Why to select a research topic? What is a search for a good topic? Where to search? Why a systematic search? How to make a search and effective use of library. Always we should try to select a research topic in the way we are going to study or in the way we are going to have our research, how it will be useful for the society, how we are going to add up with our study with the society. As well, selecting a research topic. Why to select a research topic? It means it makes research inquiry sensible, provides useful hints, works as a basis for purposive inquiry, acts as a source material. Now, what is a search for good topics? It is always going to have crystal and clear idea. The topic should be purposive. It should be systematic, defined, innovative. Topic should be innovative. That means always you are supposed to have certain ideas which are not already produced, or if the idea is already produced, you are going to add up something from your own side. As well, the next point is selecting a research topic. Where to search? We can have a search in journals, books, magazines, newspapers, annuals, irregulars, published thesis and unpublished thesis also. Means we can have a search of the related research topic on our field or on our research area by using these kind of options. At the same time, why a systematic search? Of course, always it is said that well begun is half done. If we are going to have a proper beginning for the research, we are going to have a systematic work overall in our study. So, to have quick access to a suitable research problem, to avoid wastage of resources, to what are tentative and suitable topics of research, to avoid any likely duplication, and to take any existing inquiry ahead, we can have a systematic search. Now, the next question is how to make a search. So, before beginning any kind of research, always decide the area of inquiry. Select a specific area, identify the area where research is already conducted, avoid any kind of repetition, try to avoid repetitions. Associate ideas with topics, integrate the ideas with interest. Then Effective use of library. To collect the basic data, to evaluate ideas, to examine truth behind the assumption, to justify an idea, to work out a concrete idea, to acquire new ideas, and to justify any new ideas. Now, why to write a research paper? Dissemination of results is general requirement by the research finder, exchange of knowledge and expertise with colleagues locally and internationally, used as an instrument for evaluation of researchers' quality work, career advancement and personal satisfaction. Why we write a research paper? Always our college institutes expect us at least one or two paper in a year, but not only the career advancement but personal satisfaction, as per my opinion, is the basic vision for writing a research paper. Now, the certain tips on how to write a good research paper. Some general guidelines for researchers. Always we should consider the reader. At the same time, we begin to write professionally good writing. Few technical specifications must be there. Grammar checking, words, title must be proper, catchy title must be there. Proofreading the draft, revising it, abstract, tables and figures, references, statistical presentation, always passive voice is going to be used, plagiarism must be there. We should avoid copying any other's material without giving a reference or without mentioning the name, reviewing, reviewers, and publishing, of course. Now, good research paper. Always a good research paper, to frame a good research paper, it needs 4 to 6 months. Quantity is not the thing, but quality matters a lot. As we know, a PhD thesis can be of 500 to 1000 pages, and a PhD thesis can be of a single line, because the research is important, not the quantity. Quality matters a lot. Time management must be there, innovativeness, statistical analysis, and whatever you are going to mention in your research, that must be useful and going to add up to the available knowledge. Data. It is easier to assemble all the data before writing the paper than during the process. The data should be in your hand before beginning to write the paper. Now, how to write a research paper? Always carefully choose the topic, make a working outline, write the first draft, revise the draft, and then you can strengthen your writing. Now we will move towards the next certain slides. I will just highlight my presentations, the method of research, decide on the subject matter, follow certain order of research, types of sources, evaluate source material. Guidelines are given, title of the article, name, designation, institute affiliation, email ID of authors, keywords. Minimum 4 to 5 keywords must be there. Abstract, it must be in 200 words at least. Full research articles including research methodology, data analysis, findings, suggestions, recommendations, and conclusions, maximum 2000 words or as per given by the research organizers. Tables, charts, graph numbers, and references and bibliography. Now we'll move towards the structure of a research paper. Research paper must have a statement and outline, introduction, study methodology, literature review, theoretical base, proper body, proper draft, data analysis, results, and discussions. Conclusion is the most important thing, suggestions and solutions, and last but not the least, that is notes and bibliography. Data analysis is going to give us the observations. If, let us say, suppose consider for example, if we have enlisted 20 observations, then we should have our conclusions 10 out of that, and from 10 conclusions at least we must have 5 suggestions. Those 5 suggestions should give the proper idea on which the future advancement can be done. So I have just mentioned the pattern of the first page over here. Title: how to compose a title for your research paper. It is an important task. Many times it is neglected, but it is very important. You should always make your title very catchy. It should be appropriate for the intended audience. Objectives: a title should describe the content of paper, distinguish the papers from others, catch the reader's attention. What is the objective behind choosing a proper title? Always you should match your search queries so people will find it the paper and cite it. You can get the citations. I have mentioned certain titles which are catchy and which are not good. Just like Banking in India, Economic Crisis. That is not a good title, because with just random title, you are not going to have the attention of the readers, or you cannot get the citations. So over here I have given certain examples for statement and outlines. Introduction: I'll just move through the slides. Research methodology is the gist of the paper. Data collection: how you are collecting the data, how you are analyzing it. Research methodology: there is primary data and secondary data. Of course, data analysis must be there. Literature review: don't make the mistake of spending too much time reviewing what others have written about the topic, but just you are going to have the literature review. Why? That you are doing this research to fill the gap, to bridge the gap. Whatever has been studied before, I have gone through it, and this is the gap I have found, and now I am working on it. So that is the purpose of literature review. Main body of the paper is going to explain, illustrate, argues for and support the paper. And conclusion: it is a summary or restatement or point of view put forward. Suggestion should give the further line of action. See, if having 30 observations, 15 conclusions should be there, and from 15 conclusions 10 suggestions should be there. That is a path of normal way of action. Bibliography is a list of books or articles, other publications which serves as a source of information for your paper. There are different ways of handling notes and bibliography. We can get it on the sites also. Abbreviations in the same way, reference and times. And before giving the draft of research paper, always we should check the figures versus the text, check the references versus the text. Every draft, every single word should be checked, and then it is going to have the proper impact factor for our research paper. Conclusion of the presentation, if I would like to give in a short and one sentence, that is, research paper writing is a science which involves technical writing, and this can be learned by practice. Finally, the last word is, when there is a will, always there is the way. So always try to have a research which will add up something for the future world. Always research is something you are going to do it again and again and again. So always try to have something adding up to the whatever study has been done and whatever the study will be done in future. So thank you very much for the organizers that they have given me the opportunity for preparing and presenting this seminar on the topic I have chosen, how to write a research paper. So this is the seminar presented by roll number 64, Dr. Mrs. Guzar PS. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.